We leave you tonight with a story from Galva, where this morning students got to hear from a Civil War expert. News 8's Drew Coffey shows us his personal ties to the time period.
He's a smart, scholarly man.
This is Mr. Dietz, an author and history buff who spoke on a Zoom call in front of more than a dozen Galva students Friday.
I had to do my homework.
He has a deep interest in many aspects of the Civil War, but one prominent figure of the time grabs his attention more than anyone else.
Of President Ulysses S. Grant.
He even shares his name.
And, again, it's got a weird personal angle for me.
Okay, maybe his connection goes a bit deeper.
Pick up the torch for your ancestor, and then you realize you become the spokesperson.
Dietz is actually the great-great-grandson of the 18th President of the United States, but it took a while for him to learn the history and life of his far-gone ancestor.
Because I grew up being slightly ashamed of my name, because the response to people meeting me and learning that my name was Ulysses and why was to say, oh, he was a drunk and he was a butcher and he was a bad president.
However, he knew he had to learn every facet of his great-great-grandfather's life to educate others.
Even though history may be a long time in the past, it's still very much alive.
One of these students is 8th grader Michaela Blair, who got to ask Dietz a question during the Zoom call.
I was very excited. I was trying not to talk. I was like, I have to stay quiet. I have to. You don't get to talk to the actual person, but you get to talk to a relative, which is like talking to a celebrity relative.
History is not in the past. That history really is something that it continues to move through everybody.
In Galva, Drew Coffey, WQAD News 8.
And it doesn't end there. Later this year, Galva students will talk to descendants of Presidents Grover Cleveland and George Washington.